Shake family, welcome back to another episode. Thank you again for tuning in. It's your boy Fats, aka The Beast, and going straight into it, introducing the next host, my boy K1.
What up, everybody? It's your boy, Killer Ghost,
Broy.
aka Broy, aka Chris. Hope you guys enjoy this episode. On to the next host.
Good morning, everybody. Good evening, everybody. Whatever time you guys are listening to this today, finna get mango no huevos. Savage is back with us to host another episode. It's been fun, and we were happy to bring him back. As you guys can see, Fats has come back from vacation, a long hiatus. He looks good. That blue is one of my favorite kind of blue. And now on to the show. So, Chris, take it away.
Um, I wanted to start with because recently I saw a AEW pay per view, which is wrestling. It's another company, so I wanted to ask you guys about like back in the day when we used to watch wrestling and stuff. Did you guys have any like favorite wrestlers, either bad guys, good guys, or any memories you guys just pop up whenever you think about wrestling? Like, cause
Plenty.
there's a bunch of in this company they have a bunch of like factions. I don't like how DX, NWO like groups and stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I was gonna ask you guys about that too. Like, if there's any groups you guys used to rock with a lot, like even though they were bad or whatever.
Well,
Whoever want to start.
yeah, you take it away. Yes.
well, first I was gonna do my Hulk Hogan impersonation, brother. Let me tell you something here, brother. Back in WrestleMania 21, me and Andre the Giant going head to head. No, but seriously, one of my, I gotta say, he was part of a group, and I feel like one of the all-time underrated like wrestlers. He really stood out to me while I was young because it was that hip hop era. And it's got to be the one, the only Scotty 2 motherfucking Hottie. One of the best performers for me. Like, I think being young and everybody liked the Stone Colds and the Rocks and the Triple H's, you got to go with somebody like Scotty 2 Hottie. I know he was part of him. What was that other guy? His tag team partner?
Grandmaster
then, like,
Sexy.
Yeah, Grandmaster, and then it was wasn't Rakishi in there for a little
Yeah,
bit?
Rikishi.
Look at that. And
Road
you already
Dogg
know,
was
growing
with them.
up,
Not Road Dog.
that was a
No?
default growing up, bro. They was like,
No,
yo,
that was New Age Outlaws with Billy Ass.
Mm.
Billy
that
Gunn.
was a standard, dude. That was a standard. I would be cutting somebody's ass, and they would, but you look like
Do
Rakishi.
you remember the
Like,
taunt
damn, man.
in WrestleMania No Mercy with Mr. Ass? You pull down your pants and it will blur it out. That was funny.
Yeah.
Nah,
You
but yeah,
what was Scotty Swatty's finisher? You remember?
the worm. What? How can I not? I was doing that at prom, my guy. Your boy was hitting that off at 5th grade prom. We had a little dance competition. It wasn't really a prom in 5th grade. It was a little dance competition. Your boy hit that for the one time. He was doing the snail. But I had to hit it for the one time.
The snail or the slug?
It was one of those. It was in that genre of animal.
A slug.
100%, bro.
For me, it was a duo that I fell in love with. It didn't last long, but I really liked them together. Was the Rock and Sock connection? Like, I thought there was something like it was like the Scalpel and the Sledgehammer put together, and it was like this real like grungy kind of wrestling that I enjoyed. And whenever they be like, "Oh, Mr. Sacco," and then I enjoyed that.
You ever put your dirty sock in Felipe's mouth?
100%. 100%.
Cap. But first off, I was a specialist in reversal moves, dude. You try to put a sock in my mouth, I ended up putting my foot up in your head.
But
back.
I enjoyed the Rock and Sock. One of my favorite rivalries for a while was Kurt Angle versus Stone Cold. I like that. Remember, one came out with the beer, and the next time I think this guy came out with the milk.
The milk
I
truck.
was like, damn, this is savage. No pun intended.
And then he had the they bought him the cowboy hat, and he had the little ass baby
Oh
cowboy
yeah,
hat
yeah,
for
yeah,
Kurt
yeah.
Angle.
And then I thoroughly enjoyed the Vince McMahon Stone Cold. Like he
Oh
was
yeah,
just always
that's
like
always
harassing him. Remember the part where he took a cement truck and he filled up his car and blew it up?
hmm
I thought that was amazing.
And then when he went to see him in the hospital, that he
Oh
hits him
yeah.
with the with the bang.
And he turns around and he's
Nothing
like,
beats that.
like
All those segments outside of the ring were like spectacular.
Yeah,
Like
they don't do that
it,
anymore.
not only was Stone Cold with Vince McMahon in the hospital, but remember Stone Cold with Booker T in the
Oh my
supermarket.
oh.
god.
Mhm.
Yeah,
That was
that's a
that's like
classic.
Oh, do you remember
that
there was
definitely better than half the
there was
matches they
another
do
fight
now.
I remember. I think it was with, I want to say Sable and Trish Stratus, where they were fighting in the back, and I think they put one of them grabbed the iron and burned them in the back, like fake burned them, and I was like, oh my god, you know.
Everything looked so realistic back then.
Hmm.
Fat, you got a favorite group?
Um, not yeah. Of course, I got to go with the Evolution,
Oh yeah, the best.
the best of the best. Uh, I
They had
was
the best intro music.
yeah. There was a lot of like intro music that they've come out with that they've never used. Like I don't know if you ever remember the rap verging with the WWE when they came out with that CD Aggression.
I had that
Oh,
shit.
Yo, that
I think
method that
our
The Rock
brother
actually
Money
used
had it.
that The Rock actually used his song once, and Method Man was the one citing the lyrics and
I
shit
had
like
that
that.
CD.
I still do. I still have it. And but yo, there was a lot of really good songs that I wish they would have brought into the WWE because I mean, even though the regular theme songs were pretty good, but at least using it like for WrestleMania or something like that, something special, it would have been really good.
I think
Um,
like watching those high octane, like the table ladders and chair matches, the Hell in the Cell, the steel cages, the Elimination Chamber was one of my favorites. Like you just there hoping that this person wins or this person wins or that person wins, you
Yeah,
know.
that's one of the better ones.
yeah,
And the hardcore stuff was probably one of my favorite things to watch.
I wish they would have kept up with the hardcore championship like that. Those matches were actually entertaining, especially the backyard
They
brawls.
still have the 24/7.
That's
Your boy
really
Bad Bunny is
trash.
the champ right now.
That's really trash though because it's nothing hardcore about it.
But still, it's 24/7.
That's
Like jumping from that era till now, like the stuff that I've watched, because I'm not gonna say that I'm consistent because I hardly ever am. But like seeing like my favorite three wrestlers I would have to say right now, but I don't see them often from when I watch is Finn Balor. I like
he's
him.
NXT.
Mm.
I like Braun Strowman. He reminds me of that old school wrestling type.
That's Jay.
And then what's his name? The Fiend,
Bray
Bray
Wyatt.
Bray
Wyatt.
Wyatt, yeah.
That's
And then
Leap.
like my offshoots is I like the other guy. It's not RKO. What's his name?
Randy
Randy
Orton.
No,
Orton.
no, no. I know Randy Orton. What's his name? Something Owens. He's like a fat.
Kevin Owens.
I like him. I think he's good on the mic.
Yeah, he's good.
But like for example, like Roman Reigns to me, I see why some people like him, but for me, I think he's shitty on the mic. You
I
understand?
like him now that he's bad.
I haven't seen him now.
Better than he was.
I think he's bad
Now
on the
he's
mic.
like he's head of the family because you know that all them they all cousins and shit with the Rock, all those
Hmm.
Samoan guys. So he's head of like his character now. He's head of the family. Blah blah blah. He's been champ for like pretty much the whole year already.
And then the big takeaway for me is that the time, if you think about wrestling now from then, is definitely way more tame. They can't show the stuff that they showed then now. Like remember the diva stuff the girls would come out with like their
Oh,
shorts and the
that
thongs
stuff, yeah,
through.
for
You
sure.
understand?
The what is it? The mud wrestling matches. They used to go by the inches. They used to fight in the mud, or if
My
it was
boy Jerry the
Thanksgiving,
King used to want to see puppies. He'd be
Mm-hmm.
like, puppies.
Ah,
Hey.
yeah, yeah,
if
yeah.
it was Thanksgiving, they would wrestle in cranberry sauce
Mm-hmm.
or gravy.
But that's the thing
Yo,
is like, and especially now with like this whole cancer culture epidemic, like I'm still kind of low key upset about Pepe Le Pew being canceled. Like if you think about it,
that's so
she
dumb.
was running away from a skunk that stinks. There's no there's
Uh,
no
there's
there's
a
no
fine line.
I don't think so. There's
There's
no
a fine line.
The R word that starts with an R and ends with an E. There was none of that in my opinion. You understand? But
Was the cat a female though?
Mhm.
You sure?
Yeah.
Because I faintly remember the cat being a male, and that's the reason why she was running away. Why he was running away.
But even if it was, wouldn't that be considered? I know this is off topic because I digress. Wouldn't that be
That's
considered
cool.
okay by today's standard at
Yeah.
2021? Because if that's what we're fighting for,
We
equality and
off the
blah blah blah.
tippity here.
But anyways, going back to the wrestling, you understand? I could understand the whole why they don't do certain things. Like if blood shows up, I hear they end the match right there. You understand?
Yeah, they check them and stuff.
Or they call for the match to end. Um, but the one of the biggest things why I stay away from wrestling and I don't watch it as often. I don't feel that Brock Lesnar should be the one hold. He doesn't do anything with it.
Hmm.
He
No.
doesn't do
Yeah, he
anything
hasn't
with
been
it.
shown in a while either.
If I could give my reason why I don't watch,
Yeah, go ahead.
and maybe a lot of other people throughout the years felt the same way. How do you keep up with all these wrestlers? How
It's
many wrestlers on a roster at a given time? And like sometimes these filler matches are terrible, terrible. I was watching matches that were like you already know the big guys are gonna win clearly. You understand? Come on, like it just got to a point where it was like you just really waited only on those big fights, you know. I was a fan. I know that I stopped like middle of the John Cena era, and I haven't looked back, nor have I really cared for it. But it was just like it started to be too many people, dude. There was like, oh, here's a guy off the top rope. I don't know his name, but you know he's doing the same move that Jeff Hardy does. You know, and it's like that. You know, the how many moves do you possibly have in the wrestling, you know, thing that just gets recycled to a new name? I've seen the power bomb, the cane bomb, the Batista bomb, the RKO bomb. You know, come on,
you
like
gotta
at
make
some
it your
point.
own.
Yeah, you know, put some razzle dazzle on it, something. You know what I mean? It just became like a lot of like the same, and I don't know, can this day and age, you guys, and this is a question just directly for you guys, I know Pro doesn't watch it, like I don't watch it, like what is the best era, like what is the best era?
It's still
it,
gonna be when we were
Attitude Era.
kids. Yeah, that's always gonna
The
be the best era.
attitude going into WCW versus WWE or WWF.
Yeah.
And the whole old alliance that Stone Cold was leading them against the WWF, definitely the best era,
Hmm.
hands down.
How
I
about
agree.
the internal stuff like them competing within each other, like SmackDown versus Raw. Like it was
I think it's
Thursdays was
trash.
SmackDown, and
It's
then
still like
Monday
that
was
kind of
Raw,
now.
right?
Yeah.
That I they did that because going back to what Leap said, it's too many wrestlers to keep an eye on. So of course, do this one SmackDown, this one Raw. That way you have it all separate. Because I guess going
I like it like that.
the way it was before, a lot of wrestlers weren't wrestling. And if you were heavy into wrestling, you remember that the big name wrestlers were wrestling on Raw and on SmackDown, and whoever wasn't relevant was wrestling on Sunday Night Heat, a whole hour before the pay per view. I don't
I
know if y'all
remember
remember
that.
that.
I remember that. Yeah.
Those were the
Yeah,
irrelevant
now they have a
wrestlers.
lot of now they have a lot of those kind of shows like the pre stuff. Like AEW they have Dynamite, that's their main show on Wednesday, and then they have AEW Dark, which is on Tuesday. Is another like hour or two, and that's where, like he said, the other wrestlers you don't usually see. They that's where they usually show them.
So how do you feel about like the wrestlers now, right, that have transferred over to AEW, for example, Chris Jericho and them recently hiring Christian again. And I know Goldust is there because of his brother, obviously.
His
But
brother
like,
too.
how do you guys feel about that? About old wrestlers coming back to either AEW or wrestlers, and even announcers? Because what's his name? Not
Jr.
Jr. He went over to for
Hmm.
them. So what's your thoughts on
I
that?
like it. Like that's the if I have to choose a show to watch, that's the one I'm watching. AEW, because right now the stories are better, the wrestlers are way better. They show like they're not supposed to like for example, they had a exploding barbed wire match, and the match was really good. Like there was blood and everything. They don't stop the match and stuff. But it's funny because the ending, so the ending is he was one of the Shield guys. I don't know if you remember him by his name, Dean Ambrose. Now
He
he's John
left.
Moxley.
He left to
Yeah,
AEW.
he's in
Yeah.
AEW. So he was fighting Kenny Omega for the belt, and so the story's supposed to go because his wife is pregnant, so they were gonna write him off TV. Like the ring was gonna blow up, and they were gonna write him off TV or whatever, so he could go be with his family. But like the countdown goes down or whatever, and one of his friends comes to like he like goes on top of him, like the scene from like Captain America when he goes on the grenade, like that. He was supposed to do that, but then if I'll send you the clip later. It's just like sparkles that come out the turnbuckles. It's just
And then
like
a
little
and
sparkles,
a
and that's
little
it.
explosion at
And a
the
little
end.
explosion, and that shit was bad funny because they were selling it like the guy. They were like both acting like they were passed out and
Blown up.
shit. Yeah,
It was very bad.
but they like they made up for it. Well, today's Thursday, so yesterday on Dynamite they made up for it. They were like, "Oh, that was all planned and shit," like to make them look stupid. It was good. They fixed it, but
They
it's
reconned
just
it.
yeah, they retconned it, but it was pretty good. And then another match that you would like because I know you like your videography stuff.
Hmm.
It was a match like in a warehouse. It was Sting
Yeah.
and Darby Allen against these other two guys, and it was like,
It was like a
bro,
movie.
it looked like a movie, bro.
Fire.
It looked so good, bro. I was gonna show it to you to see how you liked it, but the camera work was crazy, bro.
Hmm.
I digress, but I'm going to talk about it anyways. I re-saw Extraction again, and it that whole scene when he's fighting the guy and they fall off this out of the window and they fighting next to the car. That cinematography is just out of this world. But wrestling,
I mean, and I want to ask you guys another question about wrestling. This might be real corny, but have you ever thought of yourselves as wrestlers? I'm almost certain you have.
of
Have
course.
you ever thought of like your wrestling name and your finishing move?
I got that all planned. I
Talk to
was
me.
I was I was actually like Chris remembers one year that the whole tough enough challenge was came up. I was actually gonna join and I was gonna, fit my body into actually becoming a wrestler and everything. And I was actually, think like really considering it. But then it was like you had to I think it was like too short of a notice for me to actually get into it. But
That's when Triple H started getting his hands on like the company more, right? Because I think he started Tough Enough. No,
Probably, I
yeah,
think so.
but I was actually thinking about it, like really considering it, and I was gonna, of course, my name was gonna be Fats, the Beast Fat, um, and my specials were my finishing move was gonna be a power bomb, somewhat. It was either gonna be like a regular power bomb or where I grab you at a power bomb, and instead of like grabbing you by the legs, I'll bring up by your arms, raise you a little higher, and then throw you off.
I've seen that though.
That's
It's
death. Okay.
the Razor's Edge.
Oh yeah, there you go.
That's mostly compared to.
Like one of the worst, and I think this is by far, like just unanimous. The leg drop. Hulk Hogan's leg drop was so poop. Like he just comes around and just drops
Bro,
down.
look at what you know who's Jake the Snake? His fucking
Thing was with
finisher was the
yeah.
DDT, bro. Like
Mhm.
regular moves back then, like regular moves now were finishes back then, bro.
Even now to this day too, because John Moxley's finisher move is a DDT too.
But I
Yeah.
think the DDT is kind of, I would consider that like a pseudo finisher.
Shit is ass. That's what it is.
Bro, so you mean to tell me mid fight you wouldn't DDT somebody? I would.
Most likely, but I'm not gonna finish a match
Wait,
with a DDT.
I would.
in a hood fight or
Hell
in the
yeah.
ring?
Hood fight, bro.
If you hood
DDT.
fighting and you DDT somebody, that's disrespectful.
DDT, bro.
You don't just get into a hood
Those
Nah,
are
fight and
some
like,
man.
yo,
lit, bro.
My finisher would be some iteration of the spine buster.
and what would your name
Okay.
be?
Something with pro.
Mm.
I don't
Chris?
know my name. I don't know my name. Probably I don't know. That's
Dick
a hard
mouth.
one. That's a
Dude,
tough one.
I would be the axe, right? And you know the chops they give them on the yeah, I'm just cock it all the way back, just chop somebody
Oh man.
middle of the ring,
They be
dude.
showing their chest all red and shit.
Super red. Like
There are some wrestlers now that I want to mention now because baby brought up the chop. What's his name? They're from the Bootios, that group, New Day.
Mhm,
His, I think it's
Kofi.
yeah.
Oh,
He has
Biggie.
I think Kofi. He has a shitty finisher.
Oh, the
Shit, what's it?
I forgot what it's called. His shit.
I don't like it.
The boom
shit-
drop. Is it that shit? Some shit
Is
like
it that
that.
one or the one that he turns around and kicks him in the face?
Yeah, I don't like that.
That's fuck.
Trouble in Paradise. Some shit like that.
There you go. That's exactly what it is. Trouble in Paradise. I mean, it's not. It's fucking better than DDT. I'm not gonna even lie to you.
I would still DDT somebody over that.
Nah.
but mid hood fight DDT though?
Mid hood fight onto
That hits
concrete.
differently though.
I'm
Let me
40
tell you that.
I'm 45 concrete.
No,
45.
best- The
Right on home
best.
plate.
boy.
I feel like
mean,
the most memorable.
let me stop there because if I ever do that, you guys got this on tape.
The most
then-
memorable finishes are like the ones
Murder.
like out of nowhere, like the RKO,
Mhm.
the stunner. Like they could just hit you while you talking mid talk. Like
Hmm.
Yeah, that the stunner was probably like most iconic finisher.
Those two moves
Right?
are essentially the same when you think about it.
yeah, they both
Yeah, but
kind
they
of.
have their
But the most
different-
electrifying,
Oh,
the people's elbow. Dude, if I was in that crowd and I got that elbow thing, you know, the little scarf, whatever he put on his elbow pad, bro.
The
You
best,
putting it on? You putting it
Nah.
on?
the best was when he would take one off the first time and then take one off the second time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But
Now,
that's
but
that's
But
another
you remember when he didn't have an elbow one on and he just still did it?
move.
That's in the game.
But that's
right?
another. But that's another move that you could say is like that's worse
trash.
than the DDT. Yeah, that's like the
Yeah, it
elbow.
is.
That's like the leg drop.
What,
elbow.
Chris?
Nah, I think
What you
it's
don't
this-
know, in
what
a
is
hood
this?
fight,
this part over a
in a
hamstring.
hood fight, if you people's elbow somebody in the hood fight, dude,
Oh nah,
disrespectful, dude.
disrespectful. Yeah, you're
nah.
right.
You DDT.
Go off,
people's
go off
elbow
for 45
somebody.
gate.
Nah, you people's elbow somebody in the hood fight, bro. That's them
But do
plus
you do all the thing like you run back and forth? and
Dude,
everything?
if
give
you
them
if
all
you
that
don't
time
if
to
you
get up?
don't if you don't run back and forth, you're not doing the people's elbow, dude. You're not.
So you giving them all that time to get up, and they still don't get up, and you
You
do
gotta
it
stun
again.
them.
He's concussed.
That's it.
He,
Nah, that's
he
it.
just got dropped on concrete, dude. He's concussed.
or
The
like
dude
those
is
moves
down.
where they do an eye rake on them and they be like, oh.
Oh my
That shit
god!
is so whack too.
Or they they thumb the eye.
Mhm.
Those shits. who was a bad guy you hated? Like that you could never
JBL.
like.
JBL.
He was cool.
I hate it.
He was
I
cool in
hated
the
JBL.
acolytes, but
When he bring in that car with the Longhorns, wasn't for me. Wasn't for me. JBL. Yo, dude, I wanted to go into the ring and just like, JBL, are you gonna do this today, dude?
well, he
And
had
just
the
freaking straight
clothesline
DDT
from
him
hell,
because
right?
that's my finisher.
Or Devon and Bubba Ray Dudley.
You didn't like
Oh,
them?
I love them.
Oh,
I love them.
I have a long list
The TLC
people you hate?
matches will
of
forever
wrestlers
be
I hated.
TLC matches will forever be like one of my favorite things to watch.
for
Yeah,
sure.
those are definitely the best matches.
They were good from beginning to end. Just them like doing death-defying things. But what you always used to get at me, what used to get me was Shane McMahon when he used to do the coast to coast,
Mm-hmm.
and or if not, he'd be the one jumping off a high shit, and you just like, why?
He's crazy.
That's not your shtick.
My man is crazy. Yeah, Fats, what's your list?
Well, I definitely hated the Dudley Boys.
Yeah?
Yeah, they
There was
always
no
won them.
point you liked them.
They always fucking won the TLC match, and I fucking hated it. Cause honestly, that was the Hardy Boys specialty. Not gonna lie,
Yeah,
they never won a fucking TLC match ever in
Really?
their life. I've watched many of them. I've never seen them win, and it's always the Dudley Boys to win. Always.
I didn't like Edge and Christian. I don't like them now either.
No, I've liked Edge. I've hated Kurt Angle for a while.
Yeah,
Mm.
Kurt Angle was always one of those.
He sold the bad guy look so well that I had to hate him.
Oh, so this was after he was like a clown and shit and with Stone Cold and everything.
Yeah.
Okay. When he used to wear the mouthpiece.
That's it. Oh wait,
That Kurt Angle?
the hair piece.
But you couldn't forget like chanting the "You suck."
Yeah.
Used to people, they used to get tight.
Who
Or-
else? I
Even when he
hated?
came
the
back as a
Stone
good
Cold?
guy.
You know who I
What?
fucking hate, like good or bad, I fucking hate Kane with
Oh.
a passion. I
Oh.
fucking hate Kane with a passion. Especially when he lost the mask.
Oh,
yeah,
when he
for
lost the
sure.
mask, I hated that. And when he
What-
became the
you shoulda stood with the
politician,
mask.
that was even worse.
Come
He
out with a
looked-
suit.
He
You're a
looked
big
like somebody
machine.
from Hills Have Eyes, right? Without the mask.
And didn't he have his own movie?
Yeah, he did.
What was it?
I
Feeble
forgot.
Evil?
Yeah, terrible. I heard
Terrible.
all those WWE movies are bad. Everybody says.
Not all of them. There was shit.
Which one with John Cena?
I mean, the Scorpion King was really good with The Rock.
Was that a WWE movie? I think it was
Yeah.
just. You sure?
The
That's when he started getting
the
into it, though.
spin-off.
No,
Yeah, but I'm saying like there was the Mummy 2, where he was the Scorpion King in the Mummy 2, which the CGI was fucking complete ass.
Mm.
And then they made
then
the
he
spin-off
gave
the Scorpion King.
that's how he.
Okay.
That was a
basically it was
WWE
his
movie.
prequel.
Yeah.
Okay.
The WWE movie The Marine with John Cena, it was really good.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're at the 10-minute mark. I will let you guys know at the 5 at the 2, and then come back for next week's part 2 of this episode.
All right.
Stone Cold's movies, all the movies he's been in, been pretty good too. There was one where they were in an island and they had to survive, and he was there. I don't remember the name of it.
Imagine he just stunned everybody on the island.
So there was
Wasn't he in Am I bugging or he was in I forgot the name.
Expendables.
Yeah, wasn't he?
Yeah, he
think
was
he
in
was.
Expendables, and he was in one of Bad Bunny's music videos.
Yeah. I seen
He
that.
actually he actually
Oh,
stunned,
and
stunned
Bad
somebody,
Bunny.
yeah.
And Booker T's in one of
Yeah.
Bad Bunny's videos.
Yeah, but he made a song with Booker T.
Oh, really? So,
It's actually called Booker T.
so you guys know that I went through this little phase of Steven Seagal, right, and just shit pooping on him.
Oh yeah. You told
You know,
us.
there's a movie with Rob Van Dam in it.
There's many movies. He got many movies.
Rob Van
It-
Dam.
Yeah, he
I
got a
didn't-
movie with He got a movie with him and Batista in it.
I didn't know, so I was watching. I didn't watch the whole thing because it really did get bad. But then I'm like, yo, why this guy
It was
look so
terrible.
familiar? Why this guy look so familiar? And then he's like, yeah, I got this guy. I'm like, that's Rob Van Dam. Oh
He's
shit.
definitely not a good actor.
Oh no.
And that movie that I was telling you about with him and Batista was definitely a trash ass movie. And I'm a very big Batista fan, and that movie was just
I
garbage.
But
think
Batista's a good actor though.
Batista's coming
Yeah,
around on his own. I
now,
recently saw Blade Runner 2049, and Batista's in the film early on. Even though the role is not something like crazy big for him, he fit the role so good. And I would much rather watch it, for me right now. I would watch more things with Batista in it than I would watch The Rock. Personally. Personally.
that's crazy. That's a crazy
I
take.
don't think
Wait
I don't
a
think that The Rock
minute.
is the bad. I don't think he's bad now. You understand? But a lot of his films are the samey. Like uh there's a lot of him being in the jungle films, you understand? There's a lot of him being in cop films, or this good guy, bad guy cop with him and Kevin Hart. Um
Have you seen his earlier films?
the Tooth
Have you
Fairy
seen?
one?
No, I mean that was hilarious. By the way, have you seen the one, the game plan with him and Madison Pettis, where he's a father, he plays football, and he's a father. He finds out that he's a father to this little girl. Have you seen that one?
That
Watch
he was
that.
a
Have you?
quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah, I seen it. That he had hair.
Okay.
I remember it.
Have you seen the rundown with
That's
him,
with him that he
Rosario
fights with the
Dawson?
log, where he fights with the
No,
stick.
that's Walking Tall.
Uh
The Rundown, probably one of the best. It's another jungle flick, but one of the best movies I've ever seen. He's a mercenary, doesn't like to use weapons, and
Sounds familiar.
he goes. I forget the he's a comedian. He goes to retrieve him for his father, and to get paid or whatever. And he runs into like the dude who runs Brazil, and they basically try to capture him and kill him and all of that. And
Bro.
they find this artifact to try to sell it or whatever. And at the end, it's like a big shootout at the end. And he finally decides to use guns and everything. The shit is fire. Definitely fire. And his acting is really good in that movie as well.
Like, but I'm saying, like, just in general, like, I don't think that right now I want to see a Rock film as much as I would want to see a Dave Bautista film because I seen him in 2049. Although the role was very small, I would much rather watch something from Batista that has like a drama tone to it or something like that
Mhm.
that really drives the film forward. But that's neither here nor there. So back
I
to
just
wrestling.
I just looked up like his movie list. Yo, he was in so many fucking movies, bro.
The
The
Rock.
Rock, right?
Yeah, bro.
He's
Baywatch, Game
everywhere.
Plan, Pain and Gain,
And
Jumanji, the other guys. Mad
and I feel
shit,
like
bro.
out of all of the like the
The best.
wrestling people, he's probably got the biggest upside in movies though.
Yeah,
You
that's
understand?
why
Oh
he
Like
yeah, of
left the
course
he can
WWE.
be
he's
really
gonna
really
sell
great.
he's gonna sell films regardless. He's gonna sell films. I didn't like him in the last Fast and Furious movie with the jungle fight.
Hmm.
Not the jungle fight, the island fight. Oh no, he was
Oh,
fighting what's his name?
Hobbs and Shaw.
Yeah, I didn't like that film at all, man. It
The
was
film was
it,
okay.
it
It
felt
wasn't all
forced.
that. But,
The action stuff was
I mean,
really like not believable, but
you're very one sided when it comes to Fast and Furious. So I don't know.
yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, we're at the 5 minute mark.
So I don't
Who
know
do you
about that. I think I enjoyed it.
do you see any current wrestlers that could be like the next movie guy, like the next Rock, the next
I heard John
Batista?
Cena's trying to fit those shoes.
Yeah, I think he
Like
could do it.
newer people.
Either or.
Um, well, I don't know none of the new guys like that, but maybe that well, depending on what type of films it is, of course. But Kofi guy,
Yeah.
I think that he has a lot of energy. So like, and now these films nowadays, if you look at it, that's what a lot of actors are like. Movies are looking for. Like you have to have energy. You can't be some guy just like, oh, saying a line. You have to like really go out there. I think he has that in him. That would probably be my guy, like my pick. But besides that, I don't. Again, I don't know everybody on the roster to be like, oh yeah, that guy would be a perfect actor. But
It's kind of
I could
hard
see them
to
doing
it's kind
something.
of hard to cast a wrestler because they're gonna fit the generic roles, like some form of cop, some form of army guy, some form of
Oh, of course.
it's really really hard to, or a hero for that matter.
I
So
feel like for me, it would be more of a girl. Like I don't know if you guys saw Mandalorian, but Sasha Banks was in the Mandalorian. I think she did pretty good.
hmm
So I think it would be a girl that would be like the next one to be in a
Honestly,
movie or something.
probably Randy Orton would fit a good another action star probably, but
Hmm.
definitely
Yeah,
would be a good
Speaking of Randy Orton, heard about him in Soldier Boy?
yeah, beefing.
Yeah,
he's
I was like,
fighting in a thong. That's the best he could come up with.
a leather thong.
A leather
I was
thong.
like, wait a minute.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're at the 2 minute mark. We will be wrapping it up now and seeing you guys next week for part two of this episode. Where we go, I don't know, but Fats, please take it away.
All right. Thank you again for tuning in to the Fair Shake podcast. And again, thank you so much for your support. Thank you for tuning in every week, every episode, giving us those views. And hopefully one day, making our dreams come true. This is the Fair Shake podcast signing off.